The underside is quite beautiful. We trim it back in the fall so that we can see all the beautiful branches and stuff. And we twine the runners, which are like this. When they grow long enough, we twine them into wreaths, and I decorate them for other people and for our home. This is another one of our grapevines that we have arched up. It was barely growing any at all, and then when we arched it, it started putting on grapes, and it has really nice runners that we can make wreaths off of later. So just keep your eye out when you're out in the mountains running around or biking or hiking. Just look for grapevines and things like that that you can use to make your wreaths. This is a muscadine vine that just kind of popped up here by where we're building our new house, and we just kind of put this little bitty wooden fence up and trellised it up on it. And the vines on it are not real big, so you can make smaller wreaths out of that and cut it back in the fall and wind your wreath and let it dry, and then by spring it'll be ready for you to decorate. Now we're going to walk down by the creek down below where we're building our new house, and I'll show you another type of vine that we can wrap into a wreath. Sorry, the video is a little shaky. I'm walking with the camera. So this is a trumpeter vine. Has really nice long runners on it as it gets bigger. We've harvested it a few years ago, so it's regrowing, but they run, you know, 12, 14 foot in length. We have them down here by our creek that runs up by where we're building. We're building a new house there. This is a trumpeter vine. You can tell by the beautiful orange blossoms up there. It climbs trees, and it'll go about, well, at least 14 to 20 feet on smaller trees. It can grow larger. We harvest these for use in our wreaths also. But when you look at a trumpeter vine out in the wild, you can see it there on the side of that tree, that big piece hanging on the side of that tree. You really have to be careful when you're out harvesting so you don't get poison ivy vines. Poison ivy is awful easy to confuse with a trumpeter vine because they have similar textures. This is poison ivy. Right there's a poison ivy vine, and right there is a small trumpeter vine. So you want to be really careful. Here's another lovely trumpeter vine coming on here. They do kind of take over, so you have to be careful and kind of keep them trimmed back. So just be aware. Poison ivy is very easy to contract if you get it into a sore or a small cut or anything, and it will be very itchy and it will swell, and it's very miserable. So you really want to be really careful when you're out in the woods harvesting your vines, and not to get into a mess of poison ivy and have a break. Now if you just brush by it on your pants legs or something, you're probably not going to get it, but you don't want to take any chances because it is very miserable. So just be real careful. Look at your leaves. These are some poison ivy vines here. Like I said, you just need to be really careful about getting into them because they do grow near your creeks and streams really abundantly in the woods. And here's another look at this beautiful trumpeter vine going up this tree. It's really nice, and it does have some seed pods on there. See if we can see those seed pods. They're really pretty. You can use those for all different kinds of crafts and things. So when you're out in the woods, just look around for anything you can use to kind of be in a wreath for a natural look. There's all kinds of things, but just be very careful because where we live, rattlesnakes are real prevalent. So we've already killed 5 here by our home. So Just be really, really careful and be aware of your surroundings, but most of all, just have fun, enjoy your outdoors. I found this unusual stump in some of our running arounds in the creek bed and thought it would make a really pretty add-on to our flower bed. It's got all different kinds of shapes and stuff. So just unique, something to talk about with the grandkids. So, you know, just anything will work. Find a place for all of it and enjoy it. Something you don't see every day. These little mushrooms grow along the path of a tree root that's dying off. They're really unique and pretty. Do not eat them because I don't know if they're poisonous, but unusual to look at. Just something odd and a little bit different you don't see every day. Enjoying the peace and quiet in the pretty stream that runs by the house. Very nice area to sit. Just until your daughter's pit bull busts in and decides to take a nap on the creek bank. But it's nice and quiet to sit out here and just listen to this creek run by. That's Sullivan. And it's just so quiet and peaceful out here. As you can see, we have a lot of things that we can work with that are natural, from the greenery to the vines, just all different kinds of things that we can harvest and make beautiful things out of and just repurpose it into something useful for the home. Here's something that you won't see probably in town. This is a burrow, probably of, oh, I don't know. There's possums and skunks and just about anything can live in there. That's kind of out here in the back, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. There's another one right over there. We'll have to keep an eye on that, make sure it's not something that'll harm our other animals. So, just something unique. They do get very deep, way back in there. So, just a little side note, something interesting to see. Okay, I have 3 things to show you here. This is a greenbrier. It has thorns on it, and you know, it just really, if you get wadded up in them, they will tear you up. They'll scratch you and cut you. This is a poison ivy vine. And it runs and goes and goes and goes. They do climb up on trees. Like, this is a grapevine. So they all kind of live together, so you can be careful. But see this massive vine that runs up this tree? That is a poison ivy vine. So you really have to be careful, because if you cut that and you get that juice in any sore or your eyes or any kind of cuts, you will contract poison ivy, and most generally you'll have to go to the hospital and have a shot. But so they're close together. The leaves are somewhat similar. Grapevines, poison ivy, greenbrier. So just be really careful. So there's a few tips and tricks for you to harvest things out of your yard and out of the mountains for you to make beautiful things for your home, for friends, for Christmas or a special occasion. So just please watch our videos, like and subscribe, and we'll have more for you later.